It's the video you've all been waiting for. Today we will be reviewing Ghostbusters. Not Ghostbusters the video game, just Ghostbusters. This really isn't going to be easy. My name's Eric, this is 3 Minute Reviews. I really hope you enjoy this episode. So this story takes place after the events of the recent remake, and you take control of a different team which, despite being stereotypical, are infinitely more interesting than the characters from the remake. That being said, you do get bored of them fairly quickly. Now the gameplay mechanic in this game is identical to that of a dual-stick shooter. I actually have a soft spot towards games like this, my favourite being Super Stardust Delta. So despite the game's inevitable shortcomings, I figured I'd still find at least some entertainment in it. So let's talk about the positives first. Now I love the art style of the load screens. It is so reminiscent of a really fun hand-drawn animated show. Also the cutscenes. They don't look great or anything, but they did hold my interest and were at least passable. And that's about it. I'm sorry, I tried. I was burying so deep to find something of value, but in the end I was in so deep I couldn't get myself out. Where do I begin? Well, first off, the average file size for a PS4 game is 50 gigabytes. Ghostbusters, despite saying 4 on the box, is only 3. Hence we have some really horrible looking graphics, tight claustrophobic stages, and useless weapons. Now the proton gun is meant to be the Ghostbusters trademark firearm, but ironically it is the most useless weapon in your arsenal. The only time you will need to use it is when you catch the ghosts and put them in the trap. Now that gameplay element was fun when I did it the first few times, but I'm not gonna lie, after doing it for the 10th, then 100th time, it kinda started to lose me. Now the gameplay starts off basic, as you are introduced to the mechanics in the first 5 minutes. Then the game tells you, that's it, that's your lot, now go and keep doing this for the next 7 to 8 hours. Throughout that time, you will also have to constantly readjust your volume as the sound from both the cutscenes and gameplay are not at all balanced. There's also an upgrade system, but it is completely pointless, because as you get stronger, the enemies get stronger, and as you get faster, the enemies get faster. So upgrading your character feels really quite redundant in this game. Also, whenever you're watching the cutscenes, the skip button stays on the screen throughout the entire thing. It's like the game is desperately trying to warn you to skip them. Also, the main menu plays the original Ghostbusters theme song in an ongoing loop. I honestly was getting bored of it, and I never thought that would be possible. They should have put in the new theme, because despite how many times I listened to it, I doubt it could get any worse. Also, quite bizarrely, as soon as you load up the disc, you are greeted with something I have never seen in a video game. A license agreement page. I am not kidding. It just goes on, and there's even a section that says to write your signature. This is literally just a copy and paste of Activision's terms and conditions. They didn't even bother to transliterate it for the game. Also, to add insult to injury, the game actually has DLC for the original suits, and it costs you an additional £3.29 or $5. Overall guys, Ghostbusters is a game that should never have been made. It takes 5 minutes of gameplay elements and stretches it out to an 8-hour game. Add to that the horrible boss battles, and graphics so bad that I could have sworn this was meant to be a PlayStation Network release. Also, the price this is selling at is just wrong. This should have been £10 max. I would rather advise that you put the money towards the 2009 game, as that was actually written by 2 of the Ghostbusters themselves, and is considered to be the Ghostbusters 3 that we never got. I really didn't want to do this, as this would be the 3rd game in a row that has gotten this rating from me. Ghostbusters gets a 1 out of 10. I just don't know what to say. Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and now this. Next time, for my own sanity, I have got to review something good. Please post your suggestions in the comments below, and I just might review it in the next episode. Also, just recently, the developer Fireforge Games have filed for bankruptcy, so thankfully we won't be getting any more games like this from them again. So guys, thanks very much for watching. A big thanks must go to the Gamery for sending me the Ghostbusters game to review. If it wasn't for them, this video would not be possible. A link to their website is in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I will see all of you on the next episode of 3 Minute Reviews.